Beyond the wall, the men of the Night's Watch ventured in full force, ready to face whatever dangers lurk in the frozen north. To aid them in their journey, there was the wild man, Craster, a man of depravity who married his daughters and used them to birth more daughters for his future pleasure. Despite his obvious faults, he had long been a friend to the Watch and lent his home as a sanctuary for the Black Brothers on their journey. Craster told the Lord Commander of a vast army being raised by the king beyond the wall, Mance Rayder. He also spoke of rumors surrounding the undead who now walked the land in service to the White Walkers. The Lord Commander decided to send a scouting mission, including Jon Snow and the veteran Qhorin Halfhand, to find the gathering wildling army and collect whatever information might be useful in the battle to come. As the men moved across the frozen wasteland, they encountered a group of wildlings and killed all but a young woman, Ygritte. Jon Snow was left to finish the job while the others continued to move forward. However, Jon could not bring himself to kill a defenseless woman. Ygritte took advantage and ran away, forcing Jon to run after her and bind her hands. Unfortunately, by the time he caught her, he was lost and unsure how to catch up to his brothers. A bond grew between Ygritte and Jon, though at first he refused her advances because of his oath to the Watch. It's not long before other wildlings find them, and to his surprise, Qhorin Halfhand was already their prisoner. Ygritte convinced the wildlings to spare Jon and bring him before Mance Rayder, due to the fact that he was the son of the Lord of Winterfell. As they marched, Halfhand told Jon that he must infiltrate the wildlings and learn as much as he could, and then when possible, return to the Lord Commander to make his report. Jon was confused and did not understand how this could be accomplished, but it was all made clear when Halfhand attacked him and forced Jon to kill him. Having seen Jon murder a fellow brother, the wildlings were convinced that he could be trusted and released him from captivity. Meanwhile, Sam Tarly and some of the Black Brothers were out collecting wood for the camp. As they worked, they heard the bellow of a horn back at camp. They heard the first blast, which meant Jon and the scouts had returned. They heard a second blast. It wasn't Jon, it was wildlings attacking the camp. They heard a third, which could only mean White Walkers. Daenerys Stormborn, known as the last daughter of House Targaryen, former Khaleesi of the Dothraki Horde, and now Mother of Dragons. With her rebirth in the funeral pyre of her beloved Khal Drogo, dragons had returned to the world, and with them, many believed, the magic of old Valyria. Yet despite this tremendous gift, Daenerys found herself in perilous circumstances. The majority of the Dothraki Horde had abandoned her after the death of her husband, and she became lost in the desert of the Red Waste, stranded with the last of her starving and dehydrated followers. Desperate for salvation, she sent riders to seek help, and they led her to the prosperous city of Qarth. Upon arrival, she addressed the Council of 13 who ran the city, and she pled for refuge. She was denied, but for one man, Xaro Daxos, who vouched for her and granted her sanctuary in his home. Unfortunately, things quickly took a turn for the worst, and her dragons were kidnapped by the warlock Pyat Pree. Pree executed the Council of 13 and revealed himself to be the partner of Xaro Daxos, who had betrayed Daenerys in exchange for being made King of Qarth. As she returned to gather her men, she discovered that they too had been slaughtered, and only her advisor, Jorah Mormont, remained. Together, they traveled to the House of the Undying, where the warlock had placed her dragons. She entered and discovered a maze of illusions and magic that preyed upon her vulnerabilities and desires. Eventually, she was captured by Pyat Pree, but was able to call upon her dragons to burn down the House of the Undying and kill the warlock, freeing them from captivity. Upon escaping with her dragons, she found Xaro Daxos with one of her handmaidens, who she discovered had also betrayed her. Daenerys locked them both inside Xaro's vault, leaving them to die slow and painful deaths. She then claimed his riches and prepared to buy ships and soldiers for her return to Westeros, where she would retake the Iron Throne with fire and blood. A special thanks to all those who have contributed to CivilizationEx. You make these videos possible, and I am eternally grateful for your support. If you would like to help CivilizationEx and want a say in the future content of this channel, click on the Patreon link in the description box below, and pledge any amount you'd like on a monthly basis. Or if you would prefer to make a single donation, you can use the PayPal link, also in the description below. And please be sure to like and subscribe, and click on the links to see more.